Welcome everybody to another recap video. This time we're talking about Inter Miami, and we're one of those few teams that are pretty unlucky, and one of those teams that were playing an MLS league during the international break in the month of September. Some of our guys are off duty, while others squeezing this game in to go to their international teams. Like Drake Callender is one of them. Kapanen, I believe, is also one of them. While some others like Messi, especially Messi, was not going to be there. But in this game, no Messi, no problem. We win this game 3-2 over Sporting Kansas City, our first ever meeting against them. But we had to go over some obstacles. Now, this game right here, along with the game of interest, is DC United. Now, DC United, we had to root against them, and to make a long story short, the game ended in a 0-0 draw. So that's good news and bad news. The bad news, they do get a point, but the good news, they didn't get 3 points. So going up ahead of them, getting up for the above the playoff line is a little bit easier now because of our scenario that we just did. Now we're gonna talk about the game, and we're playing this without Lionel Messi, so don't forget those things. Someone else and some other players had to step up and play this game. They did just that, but it was really, really tough because we had to go up against a really good Sporting KC goal attacker, Alan Pulido. Alan Pulido is their top scorer of the game, and it's no surprise that he started off as well. So we started off, and 8 minutes in, we ran into a problem. So Felipe Gutierrez had the soccer ball from the pass from one of the Sporting Kansas City players. He shoots one to Golasso. Drake Callender saves it, but the rebound went back to Daniel Celioli. Daniel Celioli buries it after the rebound. Drake Callender. That was just wow. It's just something that hardly happens from Drake Callender, but that's just one of those unlucky rebounds. And Sporting Kansas City able to capitalize on the rebound, so they go up 1-0. Then after that, then we go to the 25th minute, where it looked like Leonardo Capana. Now remember, Lionel Messi is not here, so who else needs to step in? It's the other top scorer behind, at that time was Gonzalo Higuain. Leonardo Capana was going to be that guy, Leo to Leo, right? So who's going to be the better Leo? So Tim Mayola, I apologize if I get that wrong, seemingly, but it looked like very good to me that he got Capana in the head and he fell down. Inter Miami was awarded a penalty, and Inter Miami buries it. It's Capana buries it on the right, and we tied this one up 1-0. 1-1. So not dash, but 1-0. After that, a few minutes later, there was a chance from there and there, but nothing of this next big chance right here. This is the big next highlight here. DeAndre Yedlin had a soccer ball ready to cross up Sporting KC. Seemingly goes to the right side towards the goal side. He passes the ball, crosses it, head bounce. It's Capana again. Head bounced it right to the back of the net, and we take this lead up 2-1 in favor of Inter Miami. So good stuff there. Then after that, after halftime, Capana would almost score from the pass, but he was caught. Not only was caught offside, but Maya was right there to save it. That could have been his hat trick. That really could have been his hat trick. That would have been amazing to see. Then Inter Miami, pretty close of game 3-1 until they did. What happened was, in the 60th minute, Sporting KC was called for a foul. Players was arguing with the referee. Busquets, he realizes the opportunity. This is pure genius from Busquets. He noticed that the player was arguing with the ref about this. He grabs it, and it just quick resets to Facundo Farias. Farias. I always get these names wrong. But either way, he passed it to Farias, and then he smokes it to the back of the net on a quick reset. It's 3-1 at this point. Genius move by Sergio Busquets. Pass into Farias. 3-1 into Miami. Was that allowed? Yes, that was allowed. And apparently, it worked. It worked like a charm for Busquets. He's a veteran for a long time. He's been in international games. He's played with FC Barcelona with Messi. He knows how to play soccer/football. And that's one of the tricks there that he was able to pull through for into Miami. And we're in good position to win this ball game. Now, after that, things get a little bit tougher and tighter. Because, no surprise there, it's Alan Pulido in the 78th minute who smokes one to the back of the net. And shit. The game ends up being 3-2, which would be the final score. Was not easy at all. So Tata Martino had to, and remember, no Messi, so we had to come up with the big strategy. Remember this. We were able to do well previous years before Messi came around. How are we going to do so here? Now, with Phil Neville, there were complications. Let's see what Tata Martino do. He went with guys like Victor Alua, who subs in for Farias, who is more a defensive mindset, and not to mention he is a defensive mindset player, one of the Inter Miami OGs, like Robbie Robinson too. Robbie Robinson is also Inter Miami OG. Then, speaking of Robbie Robinson, he was also subbed off from Noah Allen, who is also a defender. Then, Nicholas Stefanelli was subbed off. Stefanelli is a forward, and he was subbed off by a graduated midfielder from Inter Miami 2, who recently signed a MLS contract for the midfield. It's Lawson Sunderland. I'm pretty sure I saw him play in Inter Miami 2. I'm pretty sure I did just last week. I'm pretty sure I did. I saw him play with Inter Miami 2. So congratulations to Lawson Sunderland for signing an MLS contract. Now, will it be his MLS debut coming up against Atlanta? No, it's not. That's going to be his second game. His debut was actually against St. Louis back at July 15th. St. Louis, for expansion team, they're really good. So St. Louis is forced to be reckoned with. So okay for that there. So anyway, Tata Martino had to go full defensive mindset, and it worked. It worked like a charm. But by all means, Kansas City was really aching to get this equalizer. They noticed too that they're also few games below the playoff line, and people that are standing in their way are a couple of games of interest to them: San Jose Earthquakes and Minnesota United. And also, I also think Portland too. Portland's another game of interest right now as where it stands, because in my knowledge, Portland's behind them. Yes, they are. So winning here tonight against Inter Miami would boost them up towards the playoff line and making it tougher for Portland to pass them. In which right now, it's not looking good for Sporting Kansas City. And San Jose Earthquakes force a draw against DC, so a big chance for them to make the catch up. Then they realized New England was winning, so they had to be sure to catch up. Now, Minnesota did tie this game up at the death, and they drew that one 1-1. So there were a couple of draws. Meanwhile, for Miami, it's win or playoff chances are kind of shrinking just a little bit. And the midfield and the defense did just enough to secure this win. There were a couple of there were definitely some complications there. First off, in the 91st minute of stoppage, there was a situation with the referees, and something happened. I can't really explain what happened, but that led to Jordi Alba getting a yellow card. So there's a little unfortunate there. Now we have extra minute of 6 stoppage minutes. Kansas City trying to get this equalizing. Couple of set pieces from the corners, which is our weakest. It's still our weakest, and not able to pull through. Drake Calendar's there to save it, and Inter Miami gets that final whistle, and they have won this game 3-2. Tough game, and it was worth it. Now we're 6 games below the playoff line. 6 points below the red line, not 6 games. There is that many left. I think we have 8 games left, if I'm not mistaken. 8 games left with 6 points behind the playoff line. This was a huge win, because that sets up a great opportunity to get back in it next week against Atlanta. And this is a 5:00 start. Messi should be back by then, as well as Joseph Martinez, who should be back, so he's making his home return, and as well as Tata Martino. Them two won an MLS Cup in that same team, which we're going to be going next week at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. So even though they're in 5th in the Eastern Conference standings, playing them is still going to be a bit tricky, especially if it's in Atlanta, Georgia. So we'll see what happens there. Meanwhile, next games, they're old games of interest. The New York Derby, you would hope for a draw there, I would think. You would hope for a draw there. Then another game of interest is Charlotte and Chicago. To me, I would hope for a draw. Honestly, I would hope for a draw there. I mean, other results might not hurt us, but a draw would definitely help us better, because then we win, then we go right past them. DC is another one. They're playing against Charlotte. You would hope that a draw there as well, or if anything, hopefully. No, actually, you would want Charlotte to beat them. No, you want to draw. So there are a few games of interest. It's complicated, but I think as long as we can help ourselves, then that's really all that matters. We'll see what happens. But anyway, no Messi, no problem, and we win this game. We take this one 3-2 against Sporting Kansas City. So beautiful stuff there, and that's it. There you go. So yeah, folks, that's going to do it for this video, folks. If you have enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe for content, because Miami TG has your back. And when it does, if you're right there with the entertainment you deserve. It's Miami TG signing off, folks. Good night, everybody.